Hi everyone, today I'm doing a review on my Crosswords book haul. Recently Crosswords had a sale going on with flat 50% and flat 25-30% off on many of their titles, and I found a few good treasures to add to my son's library. So let's begin. So this is one of the books that I got, and I really like this book because it has quite a few nursery rhymes, and many of them are not very common, like Miss Mary Mac, Here Comes a Widow, then One to Buckle My Shoes, pretty common, but Dr. Foster and Rubber Dub Dub, and they're very different rhymes in this book, and the artwork is also quite colorful and engaging. So this is the first book that I got, and then this is my first picture numbers, and I really love this book. Although my son is just 1.5 years, and I won't be using this book for a long time. He hasn't even started speaking yet, but I figured it was a good book to have in my collection for future. And it is a hardback but book with paper pages. It's not a board book, but I really like how the information, or it's like how the book is printed. So as you can see, they are very colorful pictures, very bright and pretty large in size, and your child can find it very easy to count and to identify the objects and all that. So the high contrast images are really good, and my son just likes looking through the pictures right now. So this was again a great buy. For those of you who are looking for this book, I will list the publication, and I'll see if I can find a link on Amazon for this book. So the next set of books that I bought, they all came for 50% off, are these Mr. Chatterbox's Parrot. These are short stories. The stories on one side, and then we have colorful illustrations on the other side, and these are good moral stories for children to read. They are funny and they teach you some good moral, and if you go to a bookstore, do check out these books. These are really good for older children, and I just thought it would, for 50% off, it was a great steal. The MRP is $2.99, so I got it for $1.50. And these are really good when your toddler starts talking, and you can read out these stories with good morals, and they are funny as well, so your toddler can really enjoy this. And this is again a smaller sized book. The print is smaller compared to that one, but they're similar, and it just shorts. Each book has just one story. So, and there are many in this title, like Mr. Cool, and see, you have so many out here. There is Mr. Happy, Mr. Greedy, Mr. Nosy, Mr. Sneeze. So all these are, based on one particular quality that your child might have, or you might know someone else who has, and then it's just a good moral story. So if you want a separate review on those books, do let me know. I can do a separate video on them. Now this is a great steal. So this is by Rod Campbell. I have several books from Rod Campbell, and they're all really good. So this is a board book, and there is the name, and then 3 pictures that tell you about the puppy. And what you can do is, you can remove the puppy out, remove the grass out, and you slot it together like this. So you can slot it like this. It's printed on both sides, and then you can just place it anywhere. It stands pretty well, and it's a thick cardstock, so you don't have to worry about it tearing off easily, but it might bend. So I would advise you to be a bit careful when you give it to your child to play with. So your child can learn how to put the pictures back like a jigsaw, and also to slot, and they can remove the characters out and make a story and play and all that. So just one thing to note is that when you open the book, it kind of falls out. So we have rabbit, and this is again, it's printed on both sides. Then we have kitten and lamb, and that's it. Just 4 animals, and it's nice to carry like this. Your child can hold it easily. Okay, so this is a great steal. Then this is Explore Your World, Animals of the Cold. It's again a board book. Not exactly a board book, but more of a thicker paper book. And it has got these flaps that you can flip through, and it opens up to tell you. It's more of an older child book. Maybe your child who's in the first grade would learn to enjoy this book more than a toddler. But I'm crazy about books, and I thought, well, who cares, I got a good book. So there's a lot of information about polar bears. This is all about the Arctic animals, and it also opens up pretty well, and it's very interesting with all the different shape flaps, and there's information on one side, and then it opens up kind of. So this is a fun book for your child. And the last one, this page is kind of a pop out because the bird moves its wings, and that's about it. So again, a good book. I will be listing all the names of the books and the publications, so you can refer to those. Then I was pretty happy to find this book. It is a story based in India. It's by an Indian author, and I think this is something our children can relate more to because of how our life is here. And this is a paperback book, but the paper quality is pretty good. It's thick, and it's got lovely illustrations. It's just a small simple story about a child who happens to see a snail playing with ants and the rains and all that. So animals, insects, children love those things, and you can read out to them, and it's a pretty engaging story. So again, it's a paperback, and it's a lovely book. This one is also by an Indian author, and this is a board book. It's not a typical board book, but it's very, very thick cardstock. Your child really can't rip off the book. And it's again got these lovely illustrations. It's about this little boy Yash, who feels happy for some time, and then he finds that happiness fades over time, and he tries to find out what's the reason. And it's a lovely, lovely book to read to your child. It's a great bedtime read, so a must have in the library, especially if you are an Indian mom and you have kids. Okay, so now I got 3 other books. These are lift the flap ones, and these are board books, and they all have these googly eyes that move when you shake the book. And on each flap, this is I like to monkey around, and each page on this side you have a flap. So I creep up on all the insects and birds. So what am I? And then you lift up the flap, and my daddy creeps up on me. It's a monkey. So then I hang from a branch and chat to my friends, and it's a monkey. So this book is all about monkeys and just fun activities. Your child can easily lift up the flaps, and I like this a lot because the flaps are sturdy, and my son, I can just give it to him and not worry about him tearing them off. This is the same but only slightly bigger in size, and here is the flap. So who is that in the middle? So it's a butterfly, and then in the rocks it's an alligator, and here it's a monkey. So again, the eyes move when you shake the book, and oh, the binding is a bit off, I need to stick that. Okay, then this one is again a lift the flap book, but this is on sounds, and this is also a very thick board book, and it's got these animals, and when you open them up, what does it say? Oink oink, moo moo. So what sounds do these animals make? And here we have tweet, woof, and even the bees. It's a bit hard to spot where the flaps are, but that's the fun. Your child can spend a lot of time trying to open up the flaps. And then we also have cars and fire truck, bicycle, and this is about the beach and the boat and the fish. So it's a good book to give your child to play with, and they can also learn to make the sounds that are described in the book. And last of all, I got these two books to give as gifts to my friends' kids, and this is a sticker book. So it's like they can copyright, color, as well as find the sticker and stick it on that particular page. So it's a thin book, but it's just nice, some small activity for when I'm hanging out with my friends, and the kids can do the activity, or when they are over at my place and they're visiting, I can just give them the book if they're getting bored. So this would keep them occupied for some time. It's good for toddlers and preschoolers. Then this is again a wipe clean book, and again, this book can be reused. That's the advantage. So it comes with this marker pen, and they can trace it out on this side and try to draw the same image on this side. So again, a good book to have when you have guests coming over and they have small kids and who need to be entertained. So this also makes a good gift. And again, it was a steal at 150 and at 50% off. So great book. I really hope you liked watching the video, and I will be listing the names of all the books and the publishers and where you can find them. And if you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching.